Everything in the universe vibrates, and your thoughts are a mirror. But what few understand is that thoughts also have a frequency, and it is this silent vibration that shapes every detail of reality. Before an idea becomes matter, before a desire takes shape, there is an invisible field where everything begins. Genevieve Behrend called this the creative vibration of thought, the force that connects the human mind to the universal mind. In this video, you will discover how every thought you hold within yourself is sculpting the world around you, even when it seems like nothing is happening. So, be silent for a moment. Listen to the sound of your own mind. Everything begins within the mind. That is where energy takes shape, and the invisible becomes real. If you feel that this knowledge resonates with your soul, subscribe to the channel and allow each new video to remind you of the creative power that lives within you. Because it is there, in that subtle space between thinking and feeling, that creation truly begins. Everything that exists was first born as an invisible vibration. Every thought is a silent wave sent to the fabric of the universe. When you think, you are not just creating images in your mind. You are emitting frequencies that touch dimensions that the eyes cannot see. Genevieve Behrend understood this truth deeply. She said that thought is a living substance, a creative force in constant motion. Nothing in the cosmos remains motionless. Every particle vibrates, every emotion resonates. Every idea shapes the invisible field around it. When the mind becomes aware of this power, it ceases to be a passive observer and becomes a participant in creation. You begin to realize that you are not just reacting to reality, but weaving reality with every sustained thought. The vibration of thought is the link between the invisible and the visible. What you feel and believe in silence, even without words, begins to take shape. The universe responds not to what you superficially desire, but to what vibrates constantly within you. When the mind is scattered, it creates noise, and noise generates confusion. But when the mind aligns, thought becomes pure sound, ordered energy, like a perfect chord playing in harmony with the whole. And in that instant, creation ceases to be effort and becomes flow. It is in this state of conscious vibration that things begin to happen naturally, almost magically. Coincidences align, paths open up, and what seemed distant approaches effortlessly. The vibration of thought is the silent secret behind all true manifestations. To access the creative vibration, you must first silence the noise of the world. True creation is not born of effort, but of stillness. It is in the space between one thought and another that the mind touches the field of infinity, the same field that Genevieve Behrend called the universal mind. Close your eyes and notice. There is something beyond the body, beyond the inner voice that comments on everything. There is a silent presence that observes. This is the creative consciousness. When you anchor yourself in it, everything changes frequency. The vibration begins in feeling. It is not repeating words, nor mechanically affirming ideas. It is vibrating the feeling of what you desire, as if it were already real. The mind visualizes, but it is the heart that energizes. Without emotion, the image is just a form. With emotion, it becomes life. Imagine yourself enveloped in a golden light. Feel that light expand, filling your chest and moving outward, like waves touching the universe. This is the language the universe understands. Vibration, feeling, presence. When you vibrate in harmony with what you desire, there's no distance between you and the result. The invisible begins to move, and physical reality reorganizes itself to reflect your new frequency. Genevieve said that the thinking substance responds to sustained thought, backed by faith. This faith is not passive hope. It is a silent certainty, a deep confidence that the invisible is already becoming visible. And the more you maintain this vibration, the more stable the field around you becomes. Don't doubt. Don't back down from your feelings. Every time you doubt, you change the frequency, and the creation dissolves. But when you remain firm, serene, and confident, the universe conspires in silence to give form to what is already yours in essence. Sustaining the vibration is the point where many give up, because the outside world insists on showing the opposite of what you want to manifest. But it is precisely in this contrast that true power is tested. The universe does not respond to words, but to the constancy of your vibration. When you keep an idea alive within yourself, even in the absence of proof, you are creating on a higher level of reality. It is as if you were sculpting the invisible with the chisel of faith. Energy obeys sustained focus, and focus is more than attention. It is continuous presence. It is remaining in the vibration of the feeling of what has already been accomplished. Genevieve Behrend taught that the mind that imagines and believes shapes invisible substance, like a potter shapes clay. This means that all creation is first born in an internal atmosphere, and that atmosphere must be kept stable. It is not about denying what your eyes see, but about seeing with the vision of the spirit. When the world seems to doubt you, be silent, return to your center. Remember, creative power is not outside. It is in the vibration you sustain. Every emotion is a seed, and the harvest depends on how consistently you nurture it. Observe your feelings throughout the day. Every time you feel anxious, impatient, or skeptical, you are telling the universe that you still do not trust. But when you remain calm, even in the midst of chaos, you are affirming vibrationally that you already have what you seek. This is the true practice. To remain in the state of accomplishment until the invisible yields and the visible transforms. The secret is not to control time, but to become time, the channel through which creation flows without resistance. The invisible portal, between thought and reality. Between what is thought and what is lived, there is a subtle space, a mysterious point where the invisible begins to take shape. It is in this space that the universe listens. Every emotion, every image held with faith is like a sound echoing in this vast cosmic silence. The human mind, when awakened, becomes a portal. It does not create alone. It collaborates with the universal mind, like a harp that vibrates according to the touch of divine energy. Therefore, every conscious thought is a seed sown in the soil of infinity, and the universe, in its precision, responds not to what we ask for with words, but to what we sustain in vibration. Genevieve Behrend understood this deeply. She knew that the power to create does not lie in desperately wanting something, but in remembering one's own creative nature. We are not beings trying to reach the divine. We are the divine experiencing the power of creation through us. When this memory awakens, fear loses its power, time ceases to be an obstacle. Reality, once rigid, becomes fluid, moldable by the clarity of consciousness. This is the true secret behind the so-called forgotten law of creation. The world does not change because we ask it to. It changes because we become the reflection of what we seek. And when the vibration of being equals the vibration of desire, the bridge between worlds is completed, and the invisible becomes flesh. Practical part. How to sustain vibration and create consciously. The actual application of creative vibration is simple in essence and demanding in fidelity. It is not about quick tricks, but about continuous presence. Below is a complete protocol for establishing and maintaining the internal frequency that attracts and organizes reality. Sacred preparation of space. Set aside a small ritual to mark the beginning of the practice. It can be when you wake up or before you go to sleep. Light a candle, or just sit with your eyes closed. Take 3 deep breaths. Say mentally, "Now I return to the center." This gesture creates a boundary between the ordinary world and the creative space. Establish a clear intention. Define a very specific image or intention. Avoid generalities. Instead of saying, "I want prosperity," say, "I want to receive contract X by month Y working with Freedom Z." Write this intention in a clear and objective line. Clarity is the architect of vibration. Deep visualization session. Sit with your spine straight, close your eyes, and breathe slowly until your body calms down. Build the scene in minute detail. Visualize the environment, the colors, the sounds, the voices, the smells. Feel the bodily sensations, the warmth in your chest, the expansion in your heart, the lightness in your shoulders. Experience the dominant emotion, gratitude, joy, relief, peace. Hold the scene for 6 to 10 minutes. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the image. Persistence is care, not struggle. Emotional anchor and affirmation. At the end of the visualization, fix a short phrase that summarizes the scene. For example, "I am grateful for this contract that is already manifesting." Repeat this phrase internally for 30 to 60 seconds, feeling each word. The affirmation acts as an anchor, anchoring the vibration in the body. Act of conscious release. After anchoring, release. Mentally say, "It is done," or "I surrender with confidence." Release prevents anxiety and fixation, which break the vibrational field. Letting go is an essential part of the creative process. Inspired action and practical note-taking. Write down a concrete, small action aligned with your intention that you will take in the next 24 hours. The action is not forced. It demonstrates readiness and creates alignment between mind and world. Examples: send an email, answer a call, research an opportunity, say yes to a coherent invitation. 7. Micro-practices throughout the day. To maintain the vibration in small windows of the day, use micro-practices. When you wake up, repeat the affirmation for 30 seconds. When walking, breathe and feel gratitude for 1 minute. Before going to sleep, do a short version of the visualization, 5 minutes. These small returns prevent dispersion and re-energize the field. Journal of evidence and signs. Write down signs, synchronicities, and small coincidences that appear. Don't wait for a big result to celebrate. Recording the signs creates feedback that reinforces conviction. Write down 3 pieces of evidence per day, no matter how small they may seem. Dealing with doubt and resistance. Doubt is natural. When it arises, stop, breathe, and observe the doubt without identifying with it. Mentally say, "Thank you for this information," and return to the dominant image. Remember a previous small victory to strengthen your conviction. Repeat the anchor affirmation. The practice is not to forcibly eliminate doubt, but to gently redirect your attention. Language patterns for effective affirmations. Use language in the present tense, with emotion and without bargaining. Avoid "I will" or "maybe." Prefer I'm grateful for the abundance that flows into my life." Celebrate the work that nourishes and expands me. My mind is aligned with the solution that is coming now. Emotional. Truth must precede intellectual evidence. Suggested. Practical schedule for 21-30. Days practice daily. Morning. 5 minutes of alignment plus short visualization. Afternoon, 1 micro practice of 1 minute. Evening. 10 minutes of complete visualization plus anchor plus release. Weekly. Review the journal and adjust intentions. Maintain this routine for at least 21 days before changing the scene. Persistence builds field. Ethical integration and high intention. Always ask for the greater good. Conscious creation implies responsibility. Avoid intentions that control the will of others. Ask for the greatest expression of good for all involved. Tips to accelerate vibrational stability. Reduce stimuli before practicing. Apps, news, debates. Use soft instrumental music without lyrics to deepen the state. During visualization, focus on physical sensations rather than thoughts. If possible, practice visualization before bedtime, when the mind absorbs impressions more easily. Guided practice session, short script for narration, 5-7 minutes. Sit with your spine straight. Take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes. Bring up the scene you have chosen. See a clear detail. A color, a voice, an object. Feel the dominant emotion. Allow your body to respond: smile, warmth, relaxation. Hold this feeling for 60 seconds. Mentally say the anchor statement for 30 seconds. Imagine the scene slowly dissolving as if planting a seed. Say, "It is done." Slowly open your eyes. Write down 1 action you will take today, measures against distraction and maintaining discipline. When the world pulls your attention away, keep a physical cue, a ring, a spot on the wall, to remind you to return. Set practice windows in your calendar as sacred commitments. Avoid comparisons on social media. Compare yourself only to your own practice. When you feel lazy, remember that consistency is what sustains the invisible field. Signs of progress to watch for. Subtle changes in inner sensation. The emergence of unexpected opportunities. Mood swings leading to greater serenity and confidence. Small synchronicities which indicate that the universe is responding. Practical ending and invitation to continued practice. Start small, be faithful, and record everything. Practice transforms perception. Perception transforms action. Action transforms reality. The forgotten law of creation works when you take responsibility for maintaining your vibration with clarity, feeling, and persistence. Don't be distracted by immediate proofs. Cultivate certainty and allow the universe to reorganize itself in silence. The union between the invisible and the visible. All creation is the echo of a deeper reality. What we call manifesting is not bringing something from nothing, but allowing the invisible to become visible through us. The human mind is the instrument, but the power that flows through it comes from a higher plane, the same principle that guides the stars, the tides, and the cycles of life. Genevieve Behrend understood this not as theory, but as lived experience. She said that imagination is how the divine speaks to us, a symbolic language that translates the infinite into images comprehensible to consciousness. When we visualize, we are not just dreaming. We are conversing with the universe in the language of creation. The vibration you sustain is a silent prayer. Every thought charged with emotion is a seed sown into the cosmic field, and this field never leaves a seed unanswered. But it is necessary to understand that the answer does not come in human time, but in the time of universal balance. The universe does not deliver what we ask for, it reflects what we are. Therefore, the true application of Genevieve's teaching is not to seek something outside, but to awaken the power that already resides in the heart of consciousness. The invisible is not distant. It breathes within you. The universe is not separate. It reveals itself through your attention, and when the mind stops fighting and begins to flow, creation becomes natural, inevitable, silent, like the blossoming of a flower under the light. Take a deep breath and feel this. You are not trying to create anything. You are simply remembering what has always been. Life bends to the vibration of the one who knows who they are. This is the essence of the forgotten law of creation. It is not about controlling the world. It is about aligning with the force that has kept it in harmony since the beginning of time. The return to the creative source. When we understand the forgotten law of creation, we realize that we have never been separated from the power that moves the universe. Everything we seek, prosperity, clarity, love, purpose, is not distant, but dormant within the consciousness that observes, imagines, and feels. Genevieve Behrend taught us that true creation begins in silence, and that the mind, when aligned with Source, becomes a channel of infinite power. Outer reality is but a reflection of the inner vibration. Change the state within, and the world around us rearranges itself in response. The invisible always obeys the command of the awakened spirit. Remember, you are the meeting point between the visible and the invisible, between time and eternity. Everything you think with conviction, feel with faith, and sustain with love inevitably manifests, not because the universe answers a request, but because it responds to your vibration, to who you truly are. If this message touched something within you, it's because part of your consciousness already recognizes this ancient truth. So stay on this path, keep learning, exploring, and remembering the wisdom that Genevieve Behrend left as a map for inner awakening. Subscribe to the channel to continue this journey with us. Each video is a new key to the invisible power that resides within you. Creation has never ceased. It only awaits your conscious command.